We're going live.
Now we're live?
We're live.
Live? All right.
I'm with steroids.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are we live? Are we live? I don't know just yet. We are waiting. 1 second, guys. Want to make sure we're live. Live? I'm just triple making sure. Type a 1 in the chat if we are live right now. I just want to make sure. We had a little bit of technical difficulties with the chat. Oh, we are definitely live right now. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Sunday Swing. So first of all, I apologize for the little delay that we just had. Technical difficulties, kind of streaming outside of the house. So I want to first of all say thank you, every single one of you guys, for coming to this Sunday Swings and being part of this masterclass that we're going to have today. I'm going to cover all different aspects of today's class in many different sections, and there's going to be a lot of value, a lot of experience, and most importantly, strategy, so you guys can catch the same markets that I catch every single week. So just before I continue on with this class, I want to make sure that we are all on the same page and you guys can hear me. So if you guys can hear me well, type a W in the chat if you guys hear me good. If you guys don't hear me good, put a number 2 in the chat. So I'm looking at the chat right now, just making sure that everything is good. Put a W in the chat if you guys can hear me correctly, or put a 2 in the chat if you guys cannot hear me as good. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page before I continue and pretty much go on for like an hour or two. And imagine I go on for an hour or two and the audio is not that good. Perfect. So all W's in the chat. That means that everybody can hear me perfectly. Amazing. So we're going to give it about another minute for everybody to join. I know we have traders from all around the world. So currently right now for me, it's actually 1 in the morning right now because I'm in Dubai. And the people usually when they travel, they're probably either on vacation or pretty much taking time off. But I'm like, you know what? I committed to this Sunday Swings about earlier this week, and I was actually planning to go back to Miami, but I ended up staying, have some podcasts and some collaborations too. And I'm like, you know what? I can't postpone it. If I gave the people my word, I'm gonna pull up no matter what. Obviously, I could, be sleeping right now or going out to the club or doing anything, but I'd rather be here providing value to you guys, because I'm committing to you guys and giving you guys my word. So for those of you guys that are up late on this side of the world, thank you guys for staying up, because I promise you I'm going to make this as valuable as I can make it. So as perfectly as this is going to go now, let me just get my computer ready to go. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, 1 second, guys. Just pretty much getting documents and everything opened up here. All right, perfect. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. So we're about to begin Sunday Swing. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. So if you guys could see my screen and you guys can see my face with, pretty big saying Sunday Swings for free, June 30th, 5 p.m. EST time, type 1 in the chat. If you cannot, type 2, just so I can make sure that we're all on the same page and we can move on to the following lessons that we're going to be having in today's class. Last thing I want to do is start talking about a bunch of stuff and then you guys aren't able to see it as I see it. So if you guys can see the screen, type 1. If you guys cannot, type 2. Amazing, beautiful. All of you guys can see the screen. So with that being said, welcome everybody to Sunday Swings for the first time ever for free. And I want to pretty much make it very clear that I want today to let you guys know that I want trading to be your main source of income this year. There's many different opportunities to make money online. There's many ways to make money in general, but I want trading to be your main source of income. So you're probably wondering, how can you actually get that to happen? Well, it's a very simple explanation. The first thing is going to be what are you going to actually see today in order for you can make trading your main source of income? So the first thing is I want to make it extremely clear the journey that every single trader has to go through, whether it's somebody as successful and as OG as Warren Buffett or somebody even like me. We are all going through the same exact journey. It does not matter what phase in that journey you are. That can go for you watching this video, for Warren Buffett and myself. We are all going to go through the pillars that I'm going to break down shortly. I'm also going to be explaining the actual set and forget strategy that I use every single week when trading in the markets that make me anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000. And I'm also going to obviously be doing the free Sunday swings that you guys are going to see exactly what goes down every single Sunday with my students and how I prep for the week ahead. Because whenever you, let's say, are going to go to the gym, you drink your pre-workout, you stretch, you put on, gym clothes, then you go to the gym. So before you're getting ready for battle, essentially, when you go to the gym. Same thing with trading. I'm getting ready for battle. So I set myself with the exact markets that I want to be looking at for the week ahead. That's exactly what Sunday swing is. And I'm going to be breaking down that into great detail. And then pretty much how you guys can make $30,000 on this stream today. So I'm actually going to be giving away $30,000 on this stream if you guys follow the rules correctly. And it's literally in your guys' hands. So actually right now, let me see how many people are on the stream right now. So actively right now on the stream, we have about 10,000 traders on the stream right now, which is fucking crazy. And this is literally going to depend on you 10,000 traders watching this stream right now if you guys are going to win this $30,000 or not. So with that being said, I want to also add on the opportunity of me potentially being your mentor, you actually getting the knowledge directly from me on a one-on-one level. That will be added in there with the $30,000 giveaway, which I'm going to explain later on this video after the giveaway. So you want to know more about that, make sure you watch all the way to the end so you can follow the instructions correctly. But it's literally in your guys' hands. That's going to make more sense later in the video. With that being said, let's start. So first things first, what do you need to get results in trading? What has to get done in order for you to actually start making money? Well, it's actually very simple. You simply need two things. The first thing is you need a laptop, a phone, a tablet, whatever it is that you're watching this stream through, plus internet. You can't be watching this stream if you're not on internet or if you're not on one of these devices. You need time because you have to put time into this craft in order so you can actually see the patterns repeat themselves and you learn from your mistakes. And then most importantly, is strategy and a mentor. Because you can have the time, you can have the internet, but if you don't have a profitable strategy or a mentor, simply means nothing. And then the second thing that you need is going to be knowledge. This comes with a trading strategy. This comes with money management, and most importantly, psychology. But later more on this video, I'm going to explain exactly how crucial these things are to success that you're going to be having as a trader. So you're probably wondering, why do I know this? Well, it's because all the successful traders in the world follow the exact same journey to get to the point where I am today. And it is with these four stages that you guys are seeing right here. The first one is you have zero knowledge and you have zero experience. Every single trader started at this point. Myself, Warren Buffett, you watching the stream, you simply started with zero experience and zero knowledge. The second is that you have some type of knowledge, but no experience. So let's say this is your first time watching this stream or first time watching anything in trading, you're going to gain some type of experience. You're going to gain some type of knowledge, but no experience. So that means that you would be on the second phase of a trader's journey. And then let's say you do gain some type of knowledge and then you do have some type of experience, but you have no results. This is where you would be on the third pillar. Now, this third pillar is where 80 to 90% of the traders within their first year and second year pretty much are falling in this never-ending point of having no results. Because this is where you have to ask yourself, are you on pillar 1, pillar 2, or pillar 3? Are you having knowledge? Are you having experience, but no results? Or are you on pillar 4, where you have knowledge, experience, and then finally having results? So every single trader has to go through this entire journey right here, whether you're Warren Buffett, whether you're myself, whether you're any type of trader. Because you need to first understand, do you have knowledge, do you have experience, are you having results, or are you not having results? Every trader has to go through this, and the most important thing is you have to ask yourself, where are you in this journey? Are you having experience? Are you having no experience? Are you having knowledge? So on and so forth. So we're going to go into great detail on this stuff right here. Actually, drop in the chat below, where are you within this journey right here? Because it's actually kind of interesting, because if you have 10,000 traders in this chat right now, I want to know where you guys are in this journey. So if you're in phase 1, phase 2, 3, or 4, let me see. I want to see where you guys are in this journey. So it actually took me about 2.5 years to get to pillar number 4. It was like 2.5, 3 years to get to pillar number 4. So if you guys are not there just yet, don't worry about it. Okay, so I can see a lot of you guys are on pillar 3. Some traders are on pillar 1. No, I see no 2s. So that means that the majority of you guys are actually on pillar 3. So you guys have knowledge, experience, but no results. And I see very, very little traders that are actually on phase 1. So not that many of you guys have zero knowledge and zero experience. Very interesting. Hopefully this stream will get you to that next point. So pretty much what my assumption was, you guys are probably on stage 2 or stage 3, which this pretty much needs that all you need to do in order to get to stage 4. You're probably wondering, what do you need to do to get to stage 4? Well, it's very simple, actually. It's actually not that hard. And that is a winning strategy. So if you are on phase 2, phase 3, phase 1, and you want to get to phase 4, simply need one thing. That is going to be a winning strategy. This is going to let you dominate how to properly manage money and how to actually master the psychology of trading. Because within the winning strategy comes the logical decisions that have to be made so your psychology is in place. But more on this later in the video. So with that being said, let's set and forget. And actually, before that, I could actually go right into the Sunday swings, but I actually want to get you guys up to speed, right? So we're going to be talking about the set and forget strategy, which is pretty much what makes me 100% of my money in trading. There's no other strategy that I use, and I'm going to literally share with you guys my exact strategy in this same video right now. So you're watching this live, you're literally about to get the strategy 100%. So the first things first is going to be market structure trend. This is going to be so crucial with the set and forget strategy that it literally makes the next 2 steps extremely easy. Because if you identify the trend correctly, whether the market is bullish or the market is bearish, you already did half of the job. Because you already know that the market is either going to go up or that the market is going to go down. If you already identify that it's going to go up, now you simply only look for areas to buy on the way up. If you identify that the market is going to go down, all you have to do is look for ways to sell the market to the downside. It's very easy. After you identify the trend, the second is going to be area of interest, AOI. So it's a very short abbreviation for area of interest. But now that you've identified that the market is going up, where is the best point to actually enter the trade? Well, this is where the area of interest comes in because it gives you the logical point to enter. Because just because the market's going up, yes, it can continue to go up, but you want to enter at that best point. Did you enter in the middle of the pullback, deeper the pullback, higher the pullback? This is the key where a lot of traders get confused. And I'm going to go down into a lot of detail on how to properly analyze this. Next and lastly is going to be the famous entry signal. So I cannot stress to you enough how many beginner traders come into this journey asking for the entry signal. And they want the entry signal right at this point right now. But little do they realize that in order for them to actually get the entry signal, you literally have to go through 2 previous steps to enter the trade. First, you have to understand the trend of the market. Then you have to understand the area of interest in the market. Then after that, you can actually look for an entry reason to enter the trade. That's why I leave the entry signal for last, because it is simply the last step. You can't look to enter a trade if you don't have the trend of the market and if you don't have the area of interest of the market. So with that being said, let's actually go straight into the charts. So we're going to come over here to our trusty trading view. So if you guys are all with me and all of you guys are on the same page, put a 1 in the chats. If you guys do not see trading view and you guys are not ready now for Sunday swings to begin, type 2. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page before I get started. There's about to be a legendary Sunday swings. I want to make sure we're all ready and on the same page. It's actually kind of funny because the stream is actually a little bit delayed on my end. So I probably see the messages about like 60 seconds later. All right, perfect. So all of you guys can see my screen and we are all on the same page. All right, so now that you understand the pillars, now that you understand that you need a winning strategy to succeed, I'm going to share with this exactly with you right now. So exactly how I'm about to break down this Sunday swings is exactly how I do it literally every single Sunday. So I'm going to go at the realistic speed. I'm going to go at the realistic way I look at the market. I'm not going to brush anything any differently. So with that being said, let's get started. So first things first, let's go over Bitcoin. I go over Bitcoin every single week, pretty much just to give it an overall little recap of what the market is doing, because I personally own a little bit of Bitcoin, not as much as I would want to, but I put my strategy to test on Bitcoin to see if it respects market structure as it does in the Forex market. And it does very well. As of right now, Bitcoin, I've analyzed this area to potentially enter new buys or this area to enter new buys. That's really much it. I don't really look at anything else. No point to dive deep into Bitcoin because I don't actively trade it. I pretty much do positions on Bitcoin. I just pretty much buy it, set and forget it as an investment position. Next is NAS 100. I just look at it to show proof once again that the set and forget strategy works on anything outside of Forex markets. And the set and forget strategy has proven that time and time again on NAS 100. There has been this beautiful sell that we caught, all these buys on the way up, but I simply don't actively trade NAS 100, even though I should, but I'd rather just stick to the Forex pairs, which is what I do. And obviously it works very well as well. So let's actually get started. So Sunday swings pretty much begins on NZD USD. And this is because this is the last pair that I was trading last week. So I organized the pairs in order from the ones that I'm pretty much prioritizing to trade at this very moment compared to the ones that I'm not interested in. So on my watch list, I actually have all of these different markets, but the ones that I am not interested in, I will not have visible. So these are the only ones that I was actively looking at last week. All of these ones that I have hidden, I simply did not find any good opportunities. So I simply don't look at them. But today we're going to break down every single one of these markets and identify which ones have the best opportunities possible for this upcoming week. So with that being said, let's break down our trade from last week, which is NZD USD. So this trade made me about $100,000 more or less, which it could have made me a lot more, but I simply held for about 5 days, which is less. Well, it's actually more than what I've been usually doing, but I decided to pretty much cut my profits at that point right there because they did get to my 1 to 2 risk to reward. So we can very clearly tell that as of right now, NZD USD on the weekly time frame has had a beautiful pullback to this potential area of interest right here. So a very common mistake a lot of traders will actually make is on the trend of this market. So if you guys remember what I was breaking down earlier about the strategy is we need to identify the first things first is the trend of the market. Now, I want you guys to actually tell me what is the trend of this market. And it's okay. A lot of you guys are going to make mistakes and I'm going to correct you guys and explain to you guys why. Is this market bullish or is this market bearish? Please put it in the chat. You have 11,000 traders right now in the chat. Put bullish if you think this weekly time frame is bullish. Put bearish if you think this weekly time frame is currently bearish. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to pretty much come to your decision, analyze the markets, and come to that decision. So put bullish if you think it's bullish, put bearish if you think that it is bearish. All right. So if you guys look at the chat as you guys are typing it, it's literally a 50-50. Half of you guys think that it's bullish, half of you guys think that it's bearish. And that's why this is the market will forever make money because everybody has a different opinion of the market. And this is simply because not all of you guys know how to read the market correctly. That's what I'm going to do with you guys right now. So I saw somebody that they put sideways market. So the market could be sideways, but there's still a trend. Even if the market has a choppiness like this market still has structure. And if there's structure, there's a trend in a market. Now this market can be sideways, consolidation, lateral, whatever word you want to call it. But this market is actually bullish. This one right here that I just drew out right now. And I'll explain that in the example. But this market right here that you are actively looking at is actually bullish. I know it might sound a little crazy, might sound a little confusing, but let me actually explain to you guys why it's bullish. Because for those of you guys that said that it's bullish, I want to make sure that you know why you said that it's bullish. And for those of you that said that it was bearish, I want to make sure that you guys know why you said it. Well, I want to know why I'm correcting you guys pretty much. So let's first start off with, let's say, this point right here. So we all know that the market is consisted of higher highs and higher lows when it's bullish, and the market is consisted of lower lows and lower highs when it's bearish. Very simple, very beginner stuff. So let's start off from this point right here. This market was clearly creating a lower low, lower high, lower low. At this point right here, this market is indeed bearish. And then at this point right here, this market decided to then have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, so on and so forth. I'm just simply following the market structure, right? So as you can see right here in this very example, the market was creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. We broke this higher low, making this market then bearish. Now we have a lower low and a lower high. Now it creates a pullback, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And now we have this body close above this lower high, making this time frame now bullish. Now, if it's a little bit confusing, I like to draw this up right here, and I like to take it to pretty much a blank space like this. And we look at it in a little bit more detail. So we can see that this market right here was creating higher highs. So this right here is a higher high, very simple. Second, this right here is a higher high, and then this right here is a higher low. Very simple, very straightforward. Now we know that this is a higher high, and we know that this is a higher low. This is now the new higher high, and this is the higher low. So the moment we body closed under the zone, we are now bearish. That's exactly what happened here. We body closed under the zone, now making this the lower low, and then making this the lower high. So this is the lower low, and this is the lower high. Now this market is clearly bearish. So then we break under this lower low. This now becomes a new lower low, and then this becomes the lower high. If we body closed under this lower low, now this becomes a new lower low, and then this is the lower high. We body closed above the lower high. Now this becomes the new higher high, making this time frame currently bullish, this being the higher high, and then this being the higher low. Does this make sense? Type 1 if it makes sense, type 2 if it does not make sense. This market went from being bearish to then being bullish. Type 1 if it makes sense, type 2 if it does not make sense. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Very, very, very straightforward. Perfect. You got a bunch of ones in the chat. Too easy. Yeah, well, it's easy after I pretty much show it like this, right? You can clearly see how it was in a downwards trend. And then as of right now, we have broken out of that downwards trend. It's very simple, very self-explanatory. Because I'm telling you guys, if you guys correctly identify the trend like this, it's going to be so much easier to know whether you're looking to buy or looking to sell. So we identify that this time frame is bullish because of that very reason. I'm not going to identify that this time frame is bearish because of these rejection candlesticks that are right here. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the overall structure trend of the market. And the trend of this market is currently bullish. These candlesticks right here, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks it being consolidating, but the structure of this market is literally bullish. The steps of this market have now broken to the upside. So we look at the candlesticks and not at the wicks, because the candlesticks is the market structure. The wick is not the market structure. You come here and you can literally put on the line chart, and a line chart, what comes out is the bodies of the candlesticks, not the wicks. So you look at market structure from the actual body closure, not the trail, because the wick is the actual trail. With that being said, now that we understand that the weekly time frame is bearish, we're going to then go down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame, let me see. Type 1 if you guys think it's bullish. Type 2 if you guys think that it is bearish. This should get easier as we go on. So type 1 for bullish, type 2 for bearish. Looking at the chat. Right? So I can see that it's getting a little bit exactly correct. Perfect. Type 1 for bullish. Okay, beautiful. So now you guys see how the majority of you guys are now getting it correct, because I just pretty much refreshed your vision on how the markets are looking, right? So you can clearly see that this market is very much bearish. You can also see it in the chat that a lot of you guys are identifying it correctly. So once again, I'm going to make it very simple, very quick. You can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then let's just say we call this right here, just for simple example purposes. So we can clearly identify that this pattern right here was creating higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This right here was the higher low at one point. What do? We body closed under. Now this is the lower low. and then lower high, lower low. This market is now bearish. And it's also very clear that this market is bearish because we have a very clean head and shoulders pattern right here. We have a left, we have a head, and we have a right shoulder right here. So it's very simple to see head and shoulders pattern. So now we have weekly time frame bearish, and then we are going to add here daily time frame bearish, meaning that now we have two time frames in sync to sell. So it simply makes more sense to look for sells than for buys because you have the majority of the time frames going down versus up. So you want to look for sells. And you know what's crazy? That I'll still get some people that would DM me and it's like, well, you don't want to buy on the 30-minute time frame? Like, why? Why would you want to buy the 30-minute time frame if you have the bigger time frame going down? It just doesn't make any sense. Just sell. Why do you want to force the buy? Why do you want to be that guy? I mean, you can do it if you want, just at your own risk. But whatever. With that being said, this time frame. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm literally having a brain fart. Weekly time frame is bullish. The point that I want to get is that the 4-hour time frame now is bearish. I got a little bit ahead of myself. There's the 4-hour time frame now. I know. Okay, I know. I messed up. I typed bearish, bullish. I messed up. So weekly time frame is bullish. Daily time frame is bearish. Now the 4-hour time frame is bearish right here. We have the 4-hour time frame bearish because we have two time frames in sync. Because daily and 4-hour time frame bearish, same thing applies. We have two time frames in sync versus one time frame. So what makes more sense, to buy with the weekly or to sell with the daily and the 4-hour? That's exactly what I did here. That's exactly what we're looking to do this week. Because after we identified the trend of the markets, it is very key to then go to the next point. So we already did step number 1, which is going to be trend. Then we're going to do the second step, which is going to be area of interest. So if we are looking to sell because we have two time frames in sync, if we have the daily time frame and the 4-hour in sync, we could only look for an area of interest on the actual time frames that we are selling. Because if we are bullish on the weekly, then we cannot be looking to sell with the weekly time frame. There's no way we can put an area of interest on the weekly if the weekly is going to the upside. The daily time frame is going down, the 4-hour time frame is going down. We want to take the trades with that time frame because these are the simple ones that make the most sense. So as of right now, this would be the spot to look for the area of interest. But before I continue, if you guys are with me so far and you guys understand type 1, if you guys don't, type 2. Yeah, I literally had a brain fart with the weekly time frame, putting it bearish. So if you guys are with me so far, put 1, yeah, it's fucking hot. It's really hot. All right, perfect. You guys are everyone's with me. All right, beautiful. Daily time frame is bearish because we have broken the structure, head and shoulders pattern. So the head and shoulders pattern is valid once we have broken the neckline of the head and shoulders. So this right here is a head and shoulders pattern. It's only valid once it breaks the neckline. This is going to be the neckline right here. But perfect. We all understand this. So before I show you guys the area of interest, I really want to show you guys how simple it is to put an area of interest. So let's see if you guys are with the bar right now. Is this time frame right here actively bullish or is it bearish? Type 1 for bullish, type 2 for bearish. I want to see what you guys put in the chat. And when it comes to area of interest, right now I'm just going to pretty much find it here. Showing you how to find area of interest. There's no major area of interest or minor area of interest. It's simply just area of interest. Perfect. All right, perfect. All right, good. So I'm glad that all of you guys caught on to how to very easily identify the area of interest. I mean, the trend of this market. So clearly this market is bullish. This is going to be the higher high of this market. And then this is going to be the higher low of this market, meaning this time frame is bullish. So now, how do you spot the area of interest? Do you look for an area of support down here? Do you look for an area of support up here, up here, up here? Where do you put the actual level of support? Well, if you know that this is the higher high and that this is the higher low, you can only look for an area of interest within this zone right here. this zone right here is going to be key to only looking for the area of interest, because this is where the price is going to pull back within this zone to then actually have the push to the upside. You cannot have an area of interest under the zone, because if it's under the zone, then this time frame is now bearish. You could only look for areas to buy within this zone right here. So let's say that the market is now starting to having a pullback, we start pretty much dragging our area of interest box to the downside, and we start looking for points that have 3 or more rejections that are pretty much going to give it a reaction from. Because an area of interest is only a spot that has a minimum of 3 touches. So I'm going to write this down here as a note. Area of interest is a minimum of 3 touches. So now the touches can be from a level like this, could be from a level like this, and could be from a level like this. This is going to be what an area of interest is. We're going to have 3 touches rejecting that point, level of resistance and level of support. This is where the market can potentially have a reaction from. So we're going to put a line at this point, making this area of interest 1. There's going to be area of interest 1. Now we're going to continue dragging the box to the downside. This point right here, we cannot use it as an area of interest because it only has 1 point and 2 points. So this cannot be an area of interest. We continue going to the downside, and just for examples purposes, we're going to bring this point up a little bit more, and we're going to lower this point a little bit more, making this point area of interest number 2. We're going to copy and paste the zone right here. And now this is going to be area of interest number 2. This is going to be the second point when we're potentially waiting for price to pull back and then have a reaction from. We continue to go with this box all the way until we don't find more than 3 touches. So once again, just for examples purposes, I'm going to make this point have 3 touches, so it's a valid area of interest. So this right here will now be a valid area of interest. This is going to be area of interest number 3. And then we continue going to this point, and there's only 2 points here. So this is no longer a valid area of interest. So now we have 3 points where the markets could have a reaction from. Us traders, what we are trying to do is predict this pullback and where is it going to stop before it has this push to the upside. Well, now what we did is we pretty much set 3 different spots on where it would have more sense of it having that reaction from here versus in the middle of nowhere. Now we set 3 points to where once we get there, everything of the strategy checks out. It makes more sense to buy than to settle. So if you guys are with me so far, type 1. If you guys are not, type 2. And now this is literally to the bodies of the candlesticks, not to the wicks. Again, I use the line chart to show you very simple points of market structure. This is going to be to the body of the candlesticks. So if this all makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. If it does not, put a 2 in the chat. Beautiful. Yeah, the wicks do not matter in this case at all. How many, so you can have as many areas of interest as the market honestly allows you to have. So you can have either 5, 6, 7, as many as the market allows you to have. And there's no area of interest that is stronger than another. So area of interest 3 is not stronger than 2, 2 is not stronger than 1, simply does not matter. So now that we know how to find the area of interest, it's very simple, right? So now let's actually go back to this daily time frame. So for this example's purposes, let's simply fill out the line chart. You can very clearly see that, well, actually, I wanna put you guys to the test, right? Where is the last lower high if we were to be looking at this on the line chart? Is the last lower high on point 1? Is it at point 2? Second, is it at point 2? Or is it at point 3? Second, or is it at point 3? Which one is the last lower high point is. Because we know that this point right here is the current lower low. So where is the lower high? Point 1, 2, or 3 if we were to be looking at this on the line chart. So the area of interest, we would look for it only weekly and daily. So we only look for areas of interest on the weekly and the daily because it's where it's simply most respected in. And obviously, if we don't have the weekly time frame in our favor, we could only look for the area of interest on the daily. All right, perfect. So I can see the majority of you guys currently have it correct, which is going to be number 3. Correct. This is the last lower high point at this point. Beautiful. So remove point 1, remove point 2. Now that we know that this is the lower high, well, what does that mean then? Well, that means that we know exactly where we have to look for the area of interest box, pretty much. So we know that we could only look within this point to then sell this market. So we can remove this zone, and I'm going to leave the zone here because I'm going to explain in just a second. So now we know that within this zone is the only place where we can look for this area of interest. I'm just going to flip the chart real quick because I set the example on a buy, but just to pretty much make it very visual. Let's pretty much start looking for an area of interest. So if we start pulling this box back, as you can see, is this a valid area of interest? Type 1 if yes, type 2 if no. Type 1 if this is a valid area of interest, type 2 if no. I gotta wait like 30 seconds to chat it out. Okay, okay, interesting. Interesting. Correct. This is not an area of interest. This does not have 3 touches. Now, yes, I could potentially scoot it up a little bit and I can get that point right there. And I can get this point right here, but it's too close. Like I could make it work, honestly, but we've already broken through these points right here. So technically it wouldn't be as bad. So I would continue going from this point down here. Now, this point right here, is this a valid area of interest? Directly right now, let's see if we got more taps to the left. So we would look back a little bit further. We don't have to go super far back. Actually, the closer we are, the more relevant, the better. So at this point right here, this only has 1 tap, 2 taps. This would not be a valid area of interest. But what I like to do is I like to make a little zone. So this zone right here would be a valid area of interest because we have 1 tap, 2 taps, and then 3. So the max the zones could ever be is anywhere from 50 to 60 pips. So this right here would be around 20 pips or 12 pips. 12 pips, so it's more than a valid zone. Now, if you were to be putting it as a line chart, obviously it would not because we only have 1 point, 2 points, but I always use a little box so I can get multiple points from it. The furthest I ever look back is about like a year or 2. I don't really ever look further back. And obviously, the more we look back to the left, the more points are within this area of interest, which make it even more valid. So that's why you want to have a zone to keep it obviously to the point where the market can have either a pullback to the top of this zone or to the middle of it or to the bottom of it before actually having the push in the direction of the market that it's going to go. So now with that being said, we continue going from this point right here and we continue to put the box at the bottom. We continue heading to the downside. And is this a valid area of interest right here? Not really, because it's the same one as the one from the top. And then the actual lower high, lower low, there's no 3 taps, so there's nothing there. So we only have this as the area of interest. It's going to be also coincidentally the pullback of the neckline of the head and shoulders. As you guys can see right here, this is the head and shoulders, and we are also pulling back to that neckline from this head and shoulders. If you guys see that and you guys agree, type 1. If you guys don't, type 2. So I'm just going very, very, very slow with this first example because then I'm just going to speed through everything through the next one. So I want to make sure you guys are all on the same page. Perfect. Beautiful. So if you guys are enjoying this stream right now, put a W in the chat because it's hot as shit right now and I'm literally sweating and I'm doing this for you guys. So if you guys are enjoying the stream and you guys want me to keep going, put a W in the chat. If you guys don't, put an L in the chat. I actually want to see how many people put an L. No trolls. Put a W in the chat. You're actually adults. I'm actually making it as simplified as I possibly can. So pretty much anybody can understand it, whether you're a very beginner person or somebody that is struggling to actually have some type of results. This is literally as simple as it's going to get. And if you correctly do this, I can guarantee you, you will have an edge over the market. As simple as it gets. So beautiful. Bunch of W's in the chat. Trust me, the W's motivate me more than you guys can even imagine. So perfect. W's in the chat are key to getting to the next points. So I'm just showing you guys on the line chart. We go to the candlesticks now. So perfect. So now we understand the area of interest. This is pretty much where we're anticipating price to have a pullback in order to then sell. So as of right now, this is area of interest 1 for, and the only area of interest for NZD USD. So if you guys notice, this trade pretty much makes sense. We have the daily and the 4-hour bearish, and then we have a solid area of interest that's going to be the neckline of the head and shoulders. So now this is where I would then go down to the lower time frames, such as the 4-hour, the 1-hour, the 2-hour, and I would look for an entry signal. This is going to be key to actually making the trade make sense. Because if you don't have a proper entry signal, then how do you know that you should actually be entering the trade? So with that being said, the entry signal is the third point, but only once we are at the actual area of interest. So point number 3 is area entry signal. So now we've identified that the area of interest is actually area of interest 1 is has more than 3 touches, and we are at the neckline of the head and shoulders. Right here, just want to separate it so it aesthetically makes sense. Now, the famous entry signal. One second, it just Dubai heat. Honestly, I honestly thought Miami was really, really hot. And so I got to Dubai. Dubai has humbled me in a way that you can't even imagine. The heat here is actually ridiculous. It's crazier than I ever thought. So now that we understand that we have the entry signal and we have all this stuff, the entry signal can only apply at the area of interest. You cannot have a trade you cannot be looking to enter a trade if you're not at the area of interest. Simply won't work. I don't care if I have the best entry signal on the face of the earth and it's not at the area of interest, I won't take the trade. For example, let's say this market right here gave me the entry signal. I will not enter this trade because we're not at that entry signal. We're simply not there. I simply cannot take the trade, so I have to wait. So as of right now, the entry signal is going to consist of something very simple, and that is going to be an engulfing candlestick. Now, this engulfing candlestick is going to be key. It's going to be bearish engulfing for selling, and then obviously bullish engulfing for buying. There's actually one more little thing that's actually part of the entry signal, but I'm going to save that for later on in the video. So when we look for an engulfing candlestick, we're going to pretty much look for it on the 2-hour, the 1-hour, anything lower, not really. We're going to just pretty much stick to the 2-hour, the 1-hour, the 4-hour. This is the spots we want to look for the engulfing. So as soon as the price pretty much pulls up to this point right here, I'm going to wait for a candlestick to then engulf the previous price. So this is a perfect example right here of a trade that I would have taken. So price pretty much had a pullback, retested the area of interest. We had a 1-hour bearish engulfing candlestick. This is literally where I would have entered my trade. My stop loss goes above the area of interest. My take profit goes to the next structure points. And that's how you get a very simple 1 to 2 risk to reward trade. But this is obviously a little bit further steps ahead. And I'm going into great detail right now on just this one example, so I can set the standard of pretty much what I do with the traders and kind of how the strategy works. But what I'm looking for on this trade is literally for price to have a pullback to the area of interest. So if we were to look for this trade like this, as of right now, if we were to pretty much go through a very simple checklist, Do we have 2 time frames in sync in order to enter a trade? Yes. Whoa, that is a terrible check mark. Choose this right here. Yes, we do have the trend. Next, are we at the area of interest? The answer is no. We do not have a trade at the area of interest. We have to wait for price to get there. And as of right now, we are about 12 to 15 pips from being at the area of interest. So we can only take a trade once we are at the area of interest. Only take a trade once at the area of interest. So as of right now, since we are at this area of interest, since we're not at this area of interest, we cannot then go on to the next things, which are going to be the entry signal. We obviously cannot look to enter a trade if we are not at the area of interest. So this is where patience comes in and is extremely crucial in order for us to be able to enter this trade. Because a lot of traders, they'll see this and they'll be like, oh, look, hey, it looks perfect. Let me enter. Like, no, you cannot enter until we do not have the trade at the area of interest and we can apply the entry signal. As of right now, what I am waiting for this trade is for the trade to appear and to pull up to the area of interest so then I can actually apply the rest of the strategy. So as of right now, NZD USD, waiting for trade, area of interest, then apply entry signal. This is literally what we are waiting for on NZD USD. Waiting for a little pullback like this, so then we can actually look to sell the trade. Now, if this makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. If it does not, put 2. I'm gonna speed things up now. I just get really passionate about trading. Like, I just really like this shit, so I get really deep into it. But I'm gonna speed things up. I'm gonna go through all these markets probably in the next 5-10 minutes, and I'm gonna break down the giveaway for you guys. Because I'm giving away $30,000 on this stream right now. Like, I don't think you guys understand. What guru out there will be at literally? Tell me what guru out there will be at, bro. It's 2 in the fucking morning. So, bro, it's literally, look, I'm just gonna show you guys. What guru at 2 in the morning will literally be giving you guys this much value? Hold on, you guys can't even see it because it's not focusing. But it's 2 in the morning. What guru will be giving you this value at this time? And on top of that, give away $30,000. Nobody. None of these guys have the courage to do this shit. I have an open chat. Literally, no mods. I'm not kicking anybody out because I have nothing to hide. Literally, everybody in the chat is happy. Nobody out there is doing this because I'm very confident in how I apply this strategy and the value that I bring to the industry. So put a W in the chat if you guys are ready for the continuation of this, and then we're gonna actually get to the point where I'm gonna give away the $30,000. I just get really, really, really into the trading part. Just that's what I'm passionate about. How I got to the point where I am today. So, I get really deep into it. Yeah, literally nobody does. Tell me how many gurus out there will do a fucking meet and greet and literally show their face and, put up for all these people and not charge anything. Nobody. So obviously for these events, we charge like $5 just so we can make sure people put up and we have a realistic head count. But nobody out there does this shit. We've gone to countries all around the world to simply meet you guys in person. So, yeah, exactly. W's in the chat. All right, perfect. So this is what we're waiting for on NZD USD. Are you looking for a bullish or bearish engulfing? Brother, we are selling. I'm looking for a bearish engulfing candlestick. Next, GBP USD. Prime example on why I do not scale into trades. So actually, you know what? I took this loss. It is what it is. I decided to scale into the trade. So I actually ended up closing all my positions right around here. So we can actually put all these trades to the point on where I closed them. And I actually really like this trade right here because it's going to be such a textbook trade. It's going to literally be straight to the point. So this right here is this, and then I took a loss right around here. I think I had my stop loss a little bit tighter. Took a loss. So GBP USD currently, it's very clear that this time frame is bearish. If you guys notice, the trade that is about to go down on NZD USD just went down on GBP USD, and I caught it, and I made $100,000 on it. Literally, you have the head and shoulders pattern right here. This head and shoulders pattern, we then retested the neckline, and then we sold. The same exact pattern that I am literally setting up for NZD USD. Head and shoulders, retest, and then sell. I'm literally setting you guys up for success. I put a whole example And now something that I literally took with you guys, and on top of that, showing you guys how simple and effective it can actually be. So as of right now, this is literally what I will be waiting for to continue selling on this trade. The only thing I'm going to wait for is a break, retest, to then continue to sell this trade. I love how the weekly time frame closed with a ginormous wick. I just need to sell under this structure point right here, simply because the daily time frame closed above it, and I don't like how this time frame is now body closing above the structure points. So I need to wait for this market, the 4 hour in specific, to have a break and retest under this area of interest for us to sell. So right here, so waiting for the 4 hour time frame. I don't know why this is in caps. Fix it. Waiting for the 4 hour time frame to have a break and retest under the area of interest. Very simple, very straight up to the point, very effective. I'm continuing with the trend. Next is going to be Euro AUD. So this is a trade that I actually lined up, but it didn't end up happening, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. So this is where I set up an exact same trade last week, which was obviously bearish, pretty much waited for the pullback to the area of interest, and the trade wicked into that area, and the area of interest actually happened to perfection. If you guys notice right here, this is the, like, literally what I just explained to you guys for 30 minutes is exactly what literally happened right here. This time frame is bearish, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We pull back to this area of interest. This is the pullback right here that I would then be interested in entering the trade. And right at that entry point right here, what do we have? The beautiful 1 hour bearish engulfing candlestick. This happened too fast. I wasn't active in the markets at that time, but I could have simply taken a trade right here, my stop loss above, an easy 1 to 2 risk to reward once again. I'm just showing you guys how effective this strategy works. I know you can simply find these things over and over and over again. But actively right now, this week for Euro AUD, I'm simply not interested in it. I obviously would want to retest of this area to then go to the downside, but I just don't like how it'll look, because if it were to get there, then it'll be bullish. So I'm not interested in Euro AUD. So I simply throw it all the way to the downside. Next is going to be GBP CHF, which, fun fact, I love GBP CHF because I actually made the majority of my success in this area right here of GBP CHF. This is where I literally made about, I'd say I became profitable because of this market right here. This is the bullish market that broke out from this ginormous consolidation, and I just caught these buys for like months. But obviously, this market I have not traded in a very long time, so I'm very excited to potentially enter a new position on it very, very soon. So the first things first that I see when I come to this market on the weekly time frame is going to be at this time frame. Actually, I want to test you guys again. I want to see how much you guys are paying attention. I want you to put a 1 in the chat if this market is bullish, or put a 2 in the chat if this market is bearish. I want to see what you guys believe that this market is doing. Type 1 for bullish and type 2 for bearish. Okay, interesting. Okay, interesting. Perfect. 1 if it's bullish, 2 if it's bearish. Okay, so once again, very, very, very glad that you guys caught on to the beginning of it. So this market currently right now is going to be bearish. So clearly this market was creating higher highs and higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then boom, we have now broken this structure and we're now clearly bearish. It was very much creating higher highs, and now we're creating lower lows and lower highs, making this market bearish. Now, daily time frame. Type 1 for bullish, type 2 for bearish. Type 1 for bullish, type 2 for bearish. Very, very, very simple. Should pretty much be almost obvious. So the daily time frame as well is bearish. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now boom, we are bearish. Pretty much very easily identified this market is bearish as well. So we have weekly bearish, daily, bearish. And it's also very obvious the pattern that we have right here, which is a head and shoulders pattern, very clean head and shoulders pattern. And then the 4-hour time frame is currently bullish. So this went from bearish to then creating higher lows and higher highs to when there the 4-hour time frame is bullish. Which is totally fine because we have the higher time frames in our favor. We need a minimum of 2 time frames in order to take a trade. So here we can identify one, the trend. Then second is going to be the area of interest. So if you guys remember from the area of interest, we only look for the area of interest on the daily and the weekly. So as you guys can see, obviously this would be the lower high level right here. This would be the lower low level right here. Obviously, we already had the retracements and I already put the area of interest. So I made it very simple for you guys. And also coincidentally enough, the area of interest is literally at the neckline of the head and shoulders. So if you guys look at this right here, what does this look like? This looks just like NZD USD. This looks a little bit cleaner in my opinion. I like the way GBP looks better than NZD USD. So we have the retest, or we are retesting right now, the area of interest. So this literally makes this as simple and as straightforward as it gets. We have 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 taps, 4 taps, very valid area of interest on this trade right here. So this is literally where I am actively looking to sell this market. So to make this very simple and very straightforward, I don't enter on this 4-hour bearish engulfing candlestick actively right now, simply because the market has just opened. So I don't take a trade on Sunday market open. The earliest I can take a trade is going to be in a London session from Monday. So I will actively take this trade probably in the next 6-7 hours. And I pretty much take a trade literally just like this. I would take a trade from this point right here. My stop loss would be right above this point. And then my take profit would be at minimum. I'd say my take profit would be right around this point right here. So this trade can easily give me a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Easily. So this is a trade that I am actually, so if this trade hits and 10,000 of you guys take this trade, send me a profit, send me a percentage of your profits. If it hits stop loss, not my fault. Okay, I'm totally kidding. This trade has a very high probability of going bearish versus bullish. But I have to wait for this structure point right here to get broken, simply because the 4-hour time frame is currently bullish. So this right here is the 4-hour higher low. So as you guys can see, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And as of right now, this is not broken under, making this 4-hour time frame bullish. So the only way that I can actually take this trade is going to be if we body close under this. So my entry would be right around here. So I would need a 4-hour bearish engulfing candlestick to close under this point, and I will 100% take this trade. So this is pretty much my #1 pair for this week. You guys are pretty much getting right now a live signal, a live trade, whatever you want to call it. But this is a market that I'm very interested in. Once only we have that break under that structure and have that bearish engulfing. So if you guys are with me and this trade makes sense and it looks clean, put a W in the chat so we can continue on with the rest of these markets. Holy shit, I just realized I've been talking for an hour. I didn't even realize I was talking for this long. If I'm talking too long, if I'm talking too much and you guys want me to stop talking, just let me know. And I can just like end it now. Just, you know, that's it. Out of the night. Like, it's literally 2 in the morning where I am right now. Hold on, give me a second. Perfect. All right, beautiful. We got W's in the chat. Let's continue with this. Perfect. Yeah, this setup has been, yeah, all the students inside the Swing Trading Lab have been seeing this setup from last week. All right, perfect. We're gonna keep it going. All right, next, we're reading on the USD. Next is going to be NZD CAD. So actively for NZD CAD, NZD CAD. NZD CAD waiting for daily time frame right here. It's pretty much it. Just waiting for a pullback to this level to then sell. So we understand that the trend is bearish on this time frame, obviously bearish on the 4-hour. So I'm just going to simply wait for this time frame to get to this point so then I can sell. Clearly a level, very valid level of resistance. So just waiting for the pullback there to sell. Next is GBP CAD. GBP CAD, we are currently daily time frame, 4-hour time frame. So it looks okay, it looks decent. Not interested in it. I'd rather take a trade that looks like this than simply force a trade like this. Even though sells look very valid actually. Because let me see how I can explain why, right? I'm just simply not interested in it. The market just doesn't look as clean as a trade like this or as a trade like this. I want the price to be have a very clean push and a very clean pullback. I don't want to enter a trade that it doesn't have such a clean push. So if I were to pretty much mark off this right here, I'd potentially mark this off, but I wouldn't count this as like a pullback. It looks very like this. I don't want to take a trade on something that's sideways. I take a trade on a valid pullback. So then from here, I can more logistically predict the push to the downside. So just not a trade that looks as clean. I throw it to the bottom of the list. Not interested. No hard feelings. There's plenty of other markets. I only like taking clean trades because if I'm going to put behind a trade $100,000, $50,000, I want to make sure that I can literally have the best odds that I can possibly ask for. I don't want to put money behind a trade that's going to be potentially bullshit. Next is going to be NZD-JPY. We're very bullish. We're at the highest points. Not interested in this market. If I simply look left, you can clearly see that we're at the highest point that this market has ever been, meaning that there's no previous price data. Oh yeah, it's at the highest point, sell. No, that's not how this shit works. This shit can keep going forever. You don't want to be that guy that wants to predict the top. I can guarantee you it's not going to go well for you. It's going to cost you a lot of money. Just avoid that and take trades that make sense. Don't force a trade just because you think you're at the highest point. Don't do it. I'm saving you time, trust me. As of right now, NZD-JPY, I am not interested in. Next is Euro GBP. The Euro GBP, very simple, very straightforward. I wonder why the market has had these gaps. I hope this gets fixed because usually on the Orlando server, there's no gaps. Kind of crazy that maybe it's because I'm in Dubai right now, or I don't know what's going on, but gaps literally never happen in the Orlando server from my experience. It's actually very weird. But basically right now, very clearly, we have a valid level of supports, and now we are at the resistance. Now we're going to potentially use it as resistance because we're actively bearish. Simply, I'm just going to wait for a little bit of rejections at this point. So Euro GBP, waiting for daily rejections. Then look for entry signal. So I'm probably going to need a minimum of 2 daily rejections from this point to then actually enter a sell, because clearly whenever the price comes to this point, it doesn't leave on the first tap. This is literally what it did on the last time, because we got 1 tap, 2 taps, 3 taps before we actually had the push. This times are kind of like one-off opportunities and we don't really tap it fully. For me, it will simply only make sense if it has multiple rejections from that point. If not, I simply will not be interested on taking the trade. So I'm waiting for multiple daily rejections from this area of interest to then actually enter the trade to the downside. My trade can look something like this. Stop loss above the area of interest, and take profit could be around this point right here. Actively what I'm waiting on, Euro GBP. Next is AUD-JPY. So same thing as NZD-JPY applies. We're too high in the market.
not interested. We're at the highest points. I'm not even trying to buy at this point because we're too high. In order for me to buy, I'm gonna have to wait for a pullback and then push. This pullback can take literally, think about it. If this push took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, it can take 9 days for a pullback. And I'm only gonna take the buy, so I'm not gonna take the sell. So simply I don't look at this market and I wait for another opportunity on it if it ever gives me. Next is going to be GBP NZD, and this is going to be crucial to show you guys how to identify if a market is good or not. Let me take a quick little water break. Yo, don't forget, I'm giving away $30,000 on this screen. Like I literally have $30,000 that I'm giving away, and on top of that, some one-on-ones to some of you guys. I gotta just watch to the end. Had a value being dropped. I've been talking shit for an hour. Okay. I don't trade gold. I don't trade gold. I don't trade gold. I'm not interested in gold. I can mark it up and stuff, but probably like that's not my priority at all. Beautiful. Just kind of looking at the chat. All right, perfect. So remember, well, the $30,000 will depend on you guys. I'm putting in the work right now to make sure you guys get as much value as possible. Now it's going to be up to you guys if you guys get these $30,000. It's up to you guys. With that being said, GBP NZD. So this market, when I first just come to this market, the first thing I just see is just like, ugh. You guys know that meme, like, brother, brother, I look at this and I think, brother, like, look at this. What is this? I only want to take a trade on something that looks like this. Beautiful, clean, very easy to understand. I look at something like this, brother, why do you want to force something on a market like this? It just doesn't look like it's it. So what do I do with a market like this? I simply throw it to the bottom, and I'm only gonna focus on what matters, and that's something else. So moving on to AUDC, AUD CAD. And this is key on avoiding markets like this because you don't want to risk. You don't want to put yourself out there. Like you got to treat this as like an investment. And if every single trade you take is a random investment, you're probably not going to make money. You want to take trades that make sense. This market right now does not make sense compared to this market or this market. You simply avoid it. Next is going to be AUD CAD. Now, don't get me wrong. AUD CAD doesn't look terrible. We're at a higher high. Daily time frame is currently it's just like look at this thing, brother. It's like these other gurus, brother. What are these guys doing? They're trying to, brother. You know, not it. So you simply throw this down here. Move on to the next markets. Next, we have AUD USD, which honestly looks very clean. If you ever read this from this point, daily time from this point, daily time frame is very, it's kind of like stuck at this point. 4-hour time frame. This brother, no, I'm out. I'm good. And this is what a lot of traders don't get at the beginning. They simply don't understand how to spot a market that is like this and how to market is like this. That's why it's crucial to having a mentor when you are getting into trading. It's so crucial. This market, Euro JPY, is at the highest point it's ever been. So I am simply not interested in it. There's nothing that I can do. The only thing that I can do is buy. If for me to buy, I have to wait for an area of interest on the daily time frame. Let's say this is the closest area of interest. That means I still have to wait at least 3 or 4 days for it to pull back, 1 day for it to reject, for it to then have to push to the upside. I don't want to focus on a market that won't be ready until 3-4 days. What do? I look at it next week and I only focus on markets that are actively ready right now. For example, this market right here, if it were to be like this, I'd be like, damn, this market is hella bearish. We're going to have to wait about 5 days more or less for it to get back to this area of interest so that I can sell. That's what I literally did last week. I waited all of this. I literally waited the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I waited the 8 days for this price to have the pullback. These markets right now
are not at that point where they are ready to enter the trade. They have to wait for that pullback. This will be ready next week or the week after that. I want you guys to understand that it's not that I don't like this trade or I don't like the pair. It's that the market is not ready. This last week was a last week, brother. This week, it's the shit. You know what I'm saying? Right now, this is not it right now. Respectfully, Euro JPY, get out of my face. Next, Euro USD. Brother, this doesn't look, it's just not it. It's just not it. I'm good. Next. USD JPY. Same exact thing. We're at the highest point we've ever been. Let's say that we can literally create this as the higher low pullback. This higher low pullback is going to take 5-6 days. As of right now, this is simply not the markets that we are interested in actively trading right now. Simply get away. Next is USD CAD. USD CAD, we are actively. Oh, I gotta hide that. If you guys saw it, you saw it. If you didn't see it, you missed it. You're gonna have to go back and watch this recording. I just can't believe I showed that. Oh, a piece of my strategy for it. I can't believe I showed that. That's okay. No big deal. So, with that being said, USD CAD, but looks messy. Next, GBP JPY, same thing. We're at the highest point we've ever been. Or we're at right now for a very long time. Not interested. USD CAD, interesting. USD CAD. Weekly time frame. Look at this, pulling back up to this point. Daily time frame is now currently. All right, let me put you guys to a quick test as of right now. Is this daily time frame actively bullish or is it bearish? I just want to make sure you guys are awake because I'm not giving away $30,000 to somebody that's sleeping on this fucking screen right now. Respectfully. So type 1 if it's bullish, type 1 if it's bearish. All right. You guys are funny in the chat. All right, interesting. The answers on this. Very nice, very nice. Perfect. So you can clearly see that the majority of you guys got this correct. Currently, this market is bullish. Come on, brother. So clearly, this was the lower low, and we body closed above. So what is this market right now? Actively bullish. You'll be surprised how many of these gurus out there don't even know how to do this correctly. So it's actually kind of crazy. But yes, this is actively bullish. For bullish, 4 hour, it's currently bullish. The weekly time frame is currently, I'm good. Not too complicated. Doesn't look as complicated. Guy JPY, highest point, not interested. Euro AUD, we already discussed this one. So now we clear up all these charts. We only focus on what matters, which is going to be for this week, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 markets for this week that we are interested in. Very clearly, we are interested in GBP CHF to sell only once we have a break on the 4 hour. So GBP CHF looking to sell. Once we have a engulfing under the retest of the structure points. So you guys can see how I literally got all of these markets, went through all of them, got the cleanest ones, and are only focusing on the cleanest ones. Now, one of my rules is I will not, for nothing, doesn't matter what price, I will not do this throughout the week. I will not go and look for another pair. It does not matter to me. I am straight up with my rules. If these are my 5 pairs for the week, I will only focus on these 5 pairs and no other pairs. I don't care if these markets aren't moving. I don't care if a different market gave me a great opportunity. I stay true to my trading plan and only focusing on the markets that I personally broke down on Sunday, where I had a logical and clean mindset to make a logical decision around money. Because if it's the middle of the week, and I am literally not taking any trades, I don't want to go and get distracted and then go look for other markets. Because as of right now, I cannot take a trade because the market just opened, the spreads are super high, and there's no session. So I have a very logical mindset right now. But come Wednesday, and I haven't taken a trade and I want to make money, I would then maybe go and sneak out and go look for a different pair if these markets aren't giving me anything. And I did that. And I realized that every single time I did that, I would lose. So now I have a rule that is I will simply not look for other markets outside of the ones that I find right now on Sunday throughout the whole entire week. Simply saves me money on these bullshit losses that I take. Trust me, this is very crucial, guys. Like I'm dropping so much wisdom right now. I don't even know what's going on. Like it's crazy. Next is going to be NZD USD. We're pretty much waiting for price to come into this area. So then we have the rejections from these points. And then GBP USD, waiting for the break and retest under the 4-hour with the area of interest to then enter the sell. And then NZD CAD, we're waiting for price to pull up to this area of interest and then sell. So this can take about 2-3 days. And then Euro GBP, waiting for daily rejections, a minimum of 2 in order to enter this trade right here. So if you guys understand everything so far, put a W in the chat. Just want to make sure we are all on the same page. Because this is so much wisdom that I've actively dropped right now, which is crazy. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, perfect. So these are the active 5 markets that I'm going to be trading this week. I am literally not going to trade anything outside of this right here. So this right here is, as I look at this, once, guys, just think about this. Once this literally creates, if it does it, right? If it creates a strong bearish engulfing candlestick right here, we're literally entering at the break of the retest of the neckline, the head and shoulders from the 1-hour, after we're selling from the neckline of the head and shoulder from the daily. And then the break and retest in the neckline of the, like we're literally having as many confidence as we possibly can in our favor, which is absolutely ridiculous. So with that being said, we're back to our PowerPoint. So those are the markets that we've been trading. So you guys probably wondering now, where's the giveaway, $30,000, the one-on-ones? That's exactly what I want to get into the point right now. But I want to make it extremely clear that everything that I have done right now is literally what I do every single Sunday with my students. And it's applying the same exact strategy that I do every single Sunday. That is literally all. I don't do anything else outside of the simplicity that I just explained to you guys when it comes to applying the set and forget strategy. This is what I use every single week, and it's what I have been using for literally the last 5.5, 6 years. So now we're about to enter the point to show you guys that this is all real. I am literally showing you guys how this trade played out with the simplicity of the set and forget strategy time and time again. But it's not only me. This student made $120,000. This person made $400,000. Facundo made $90,000. Students in the chat, everybody's making money with the set and forget strategy. But this is just to show you guys how it works and how simple and effective it is. We're probably wondering what it is that you need in order to actually get these type of results. Well, the first thing is a winning strategy and a right mentor. And then you obviously need to have 2-3 hours every single day to practice for 3 months so you can see these things as a repetition. So you have 2 different ways on how you can actually achieve this thing right here. You can either do it on your own or you can do it with a mentor right beside you. So here's why you are here today. You guys are here today to figure out what way you're going to go when it comes to having this reason. Because I want you to make trading your main source of income come 2024. So I want to ask you something, right? If I were to pretty much give you all this knowledge for free, will you actually apply it in real time by yourself? If I were to literally give you absolutely everything that I were to know and literally everything that I have experienced in the last 6 years for free, would you do it? Well, I want to personally become your mentor. But before that, I want to actually explain to you guys how I'm going to get to you the $30,000 away for free. And that is, I have created the first ever, most legendary educational academy completely for free on YouTube for you guys to get access to right now. And the way that I would give away the $30,000 is if you guys go and subscribe to this channel and get it to 30,000 subscribers in under 72 hours. So you have 3 days to get 30,000 subscribers so I can give away $30,000. These videos right here, you know what? Fuck this. I'm actually gonna go right now and go into the YouTube so you guys can actually go see these videos, how you guys can see this exact video. And the link is in the chat right now, but you guys have to see this right here. How to swing trading lab. Let me show you guys this right now. Come here. In the chat into this link right here. So this, you guys have to just subscribe. This channel right here, I don't think you guys understand how much effort and how much work goes into putting behind one of these videos right here. If you guys go into one of these videos, you guys can literally see the amounts of work that gets put behind the idea of this video, the concept, pretty much the philosophy behind every single reasoning on why the markets work, because this is what every single trader, doesn't matter the phase that you're in, has to go through. And this is extremely crucial because I pretty much did these designs with the team. This thing right here is 32 minutes, and it actually took about 34 to 36 hours to create to get the whole storytelling across. So this is literally all you guys have to do to win the $30,000. All you guys have to do is just go and subscribe to this channel. And I actually wanted to ask you guys, right? How should I give away the $30,000? Should I give it? Holy shit, we already have. So if there's 9,000 people active right now in this stream, this has to get 9,000 subscribers right now. Like you guys are literally, this is for you. If this gets to 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away $30,000. All you have to do is go and subscribe. But I wanted to ask you guys, right? Because I'm looking at the chat right now. How should I actually give away the $30,000? Should I give away, you know what? I'm going to set multiple different scenarios, right? And actually come into this section and set multiple different scenarios, right? How should I give away the $30,000? Let me see. Should the first option be one person, $30,000? Second option is what is it? 10 people, $3,000. 10 people. No. Let's put the third option. Let's put 25. And then let's put, let me just do some quick math. $1,200 for 25 winners. So option 1, option 2, option 3. 1, 2, or 3. It's literally whatever you guys put the most in the chat. I'm gonna literally leave this up to you guys. So you guys gotta go out there and vote. So we already have 3,000 subscribers. We get to 30,000 subscribers, and I'm gonna give away $30,000. It's crazy. I literally I don't want to call out, no names or anything, but okay. So we have a bunch of 3s, a bunch of 1s, a bunch of 2s. Can I do? Let's do this. So we're already at 3,000 subscribers actively right now. I want you guys to go into, because I obviously want to make this very fair, because I'm seeing a bunch of 3s and I'm seeing a bunch of 1s. So clearly somebody just wants to gamble and see if they win all or none. I personally think there should be 25 winners, because a lot of you guys are going to get $1,200, which is pretty much what you can throw into a trading account. It's what you can invest into knowledge, where you can get a challenge, and you have more odds of winning, obviously, if I were to pretty much set an option. So I personally would definitely pick option 3, and I definitely do believe option 3 is winning compared to all options. Okay, perfect. Yeah, actually, I think it's very, very, very clear. Okay, so as of right now, I'm gonna also take a screenshot of this. This is pretty much the different ways we're gonna give away the money. Yeah, it's very clear that option 3 is winning. When I'm done with this stream, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go on Instagram, and then I'm going to then do a post and put 1, 2, or 3. And I'm not going to say anything. Only you guys that are part of the stream, you guys will know. So you guys can go and vote there, and you guys can see it publicly. But it's very clear that option 3 is winning. So as of right now, the channel has actively about 3,600,000 subscribers. Literally, if there's 9,000 people live right now, they should have 9,000 subscribers. So I don't know how fast YouTube takes to update. So I know it probably has a little bit more just on the front end. It'll take a little bit longer. But this literally is determined up to you guys. On the last giveaway from my other channel, I literally gave away, it was $20,000, and I gave away, I think it was 10 challenges. I was gonna give away a Tesla if we got to 50,000 subscribers, but we didn't make it. This channel, there's absolutely no reason why it should not get to 30,000 subscribers, because I am literally providing to you guys all of the value that I have gotten in the last recent years completely for free. And it is literally the Academy of Swing Trading Lab in a full, simple, educational, edited format. So it's literally me explaining absolutely everything, fully edited to the best of the capability that I can get the guys to honestly edit it, which is the best that we can get it to. And it's what nobody in the industry has actively done to this point right now. And I am literally showing you guys how much I care for you guys and how much I give back, because I can literally just make videos for myself and that's it, like only on my channel. But I am really creating a whole ass other channel where it's literally going to be fully educational and about what topic the videos are actually going to consist about. So you guys definitely have to go subscribe because it's going to be key to your guys' success. So this is 72 hours before we pick the 25 winners from this channel. So with that being said, all you have to do is simply participate to subscribe. But some of you guys are probably wondering, how can you guys actually become part of the Swing Trading Lab community and me be your mentor? So what you guys saw today is literally, I say, 1/10 or about 10% of what Swing Trading Lab actually is in terms of an academy and in terms of course, in terms of community, in terms of everything. You guys literally just saw one thing, which is simply Sunday swings, and is what I do once a week. Aside from Sunday swings, there's the actual community, there's the actual product, there's the psychology, everything that is inside the Swing Trading Lab course, you guys can literally get access to if you guys are on this call, because you're going to get access to the full set and forget strategy that literally has made me $10 million in the last 4 years. You guys can get access to Sunday swings for life. And then you can obviously get part of the community where there's thousands of other traders that simply apply this strategy every single day and make money just like the profits that I have shown you in the past, because they are literally repeating the same thing over and over again. So it's not just me breaking down trades. It's also hundreds, thousands of students inside the community chatting every single day. You're going to also get access to the whole entire set and forget strategy from 0 to 100. And then honestly, this right, like I look at this picture right here, like I get like goosebumps sometimes, because inside of the set and forget community and the strategy, I literally created a psychology series about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And that's the Alex right there that actually created those videos. And that Alex in those videos was a different person than I am today. And they understood what it is, the real journey of a beginner trader and having like that breakthrough. So I actually documented my psychology developing through that breakthrough. I documented what it went from being a break-even trader to then a successful trader, and the mindset that literally it took me to get to the point where I am today. And I tried to replicate these videos, but it was literally impossible. I was not able to replicate these videos because it's not authentic. The person that I am today is because of those videos and the person that I am in that video. And that's what got me to the point where I am now. So I can't replicate what I lived in that moment. So inside of the Set and Forget community, there's about 7 or 8 videos just about psychology alone that Alex created. And those are videos that they are irreplaceable. And I'm actually very fortunate to literally have in my possession and that I actually documented it, because it got me to the point where I am now. And the thousands of students that join the Set and Forget community find this point the most valuable, because they learn the strategy. It's very easy to apply, but then the mindset is the hardest point to get over, because nobody knows how to teach that correctly and nobody comes from real experience. So those videos are probably one of my favorite and the most valuable. But I actually have a surprise for you guys, for whoever actually decides to join the Set and Forget community today, because you're going to also get access to a 100% person, like a one-time in-person mastermind per year, completely for free. All you have to do is simply pull up. We're going to be around other like-minded people that are literally going to only use the Set and Forget strategy, and you're going to be a one-on-one event with me alone. So this is literally what I like to do. It's meet you guys in person, because nobody out there has the courage or like the balls to fucking meet you guys in person and shake your hand and not have any type of scarcity. I literally do it because I like meeting other like-minded people that are willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. And then obviously, if you join the Set and Forget community, whatever updates are done in the future, you guys will get access to that as well. So, but it's not only that. I want you guys to know that literally today, as of right now, the first 10 people that join the Set and Forget strategy are going to have a one-on-one call with me personally for 30 minutes. So you guys can ask me whatever questions that you can want. Literally, if you want to join now, only the first 10 people are going to get literally a one-on-one with me for 30 minutes. You're going to pretty much get access to the flipping account masterclass, which is how I took $100 to $300,000. I broke everything down inside of this actual masterclass that you're going to get completely for free if you join today. And this is not going to be available after this webinar ends. You're going to also get access on how to actually pass a challenge, pretty much what got me to the point to learn how to manage money every single day and get to the point where I learned how to then pass a challenge to actually make money out of it. Because you can pass a challenge, but making money out of it is two completely different things. And then lastly, every single person that joins the Set and Forget community today is going to get a free $10,000 challenge, Rocket 21 included. Doesn't matter if you are part of the US or outside of the US. As of right now, Rocket 21 offers challenges to absolutely everybody. Literally, we offer challenges to US traders, traders outside of the US. The only downside is if you are in the US, you will not get access to a MetaTrader account. But if you are outside of the US, you will. If you're in the US, you won't. So every single person that joins the Set and Forget community today is going to get a $10,000 challenge included for absolutely for free. You guys are going to literally get access to calls like this and what I do every single Sunday. These are going to be the commitment that I give to you guys, where you guys can make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a week with the actual strategy that I use every single day, and the calls like this that we get on every single Sunday. So you guys probably know what's the price? Standard price that it's been every single time of $14.99. I am not going to up the price at all. It's literally going to be the exact same price, and I'm going to include the challenge, how to pass challenge masterclass, how to flip an account, and the first 10 people that join will get a one-on-one call with me personally for only about 30 to 45 minutes, realistically, however long time it takes. So this is literally for a one-time fee only, and you get access to calls like this pretty much for the rest of the trading time that we're going to be doing this for. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you guys a ginormous Set and Forget, because actually, you want to know what? I actually want to check something out, how you guys are doing on the giveaway. All right, so right now we're getting about 4.8 subscribers on the channel. So the $30,000 giveaway is literally on your guys' hands. So if you want to join the Set and Forget community, the link will be active inside of this chat as of right now, because this is where the only way you can join the Set and Forget community to actually get the free challenge, to get the masterclass, to get the how to pass a challenge, how to flip an account, and on top of that, how you can actually get a one-on-one call with me. So the link is active right now in the chat. This is literally the only option you guys are going to be able to get to join. I don't really ever do this kind of stuff, and I think it's literally the best value that I can provide to you guys. I kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight on what Sunday Swings looks like every single week. Let me actually look at the chat, because I haven't been looking at the chat. Yeah. My EMA settings are the 50 EMA. There's no way you're actually giving me. Yeah, I'm actually giving away $30,000, guys. Trust. What is my EMA is the 50 EMA. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of letting my hair grow. So, did you guys enjoy the stream? Should I do these more often? I actually enjoyed it. I actually, if you realize, like the time went by really, really fast. You're welcome, Charles, of course. S&P 500, I probably might take trades, not super interested. What broker do I use? I don't promote a broker. I'm not like these other guys out there. What other questions do you guys have from the actual screen that you guys want me to answer at this point right now? I love guys. I love for all of you guys. Yes, if you guys joined correct. My EMA settings are the 50 EMA settings. That's it. It's literally the 50 EMA. The offset is 0. I don't take trades on news at all. At all, at all, at all. I literally don't even know when news are happening. I don't focus on that at all. Glad you guys like this because this pretty much motivates me to continue to do these classes over and over and over and over again. And honestly, for those of you guys that are awake at this time, it's right now, it's 3 in the morning. It's 3 in the morning Dubai time. People are partying right now, and I'm here with you guys. That is crazy. I'm going to take you for to have the strong psychology. So it realistically took me about 2 years to build it. But as soon as I kind of realized what it was, it took me about a month and a half to just apply it. So it took me 2 years to get the experience to everything that I needed. But then it took me about a month to just repeat the same thing over and over and over again, where it really just turned into a machine. Yes, if you want to join the mentorship, the link is in the chat right now. It is literally only available today for you guys. 100 to the mill? I don't know, man. I don't know. That was probably one of the most stressful moments in my life when I was doing the 100 to the mill challenge. How many setups do you take at a time? So let's say out of the 5 markets that we just broke down right now, and if I were to have 2 of them happen at the same time, like that they were to give me my entry reason to enter the trade, I would simply just pick one of them that make the most sense. I would not take both of them at the same time. Sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't, but the rule of the strategy is you only take one. You do not take 2 out of both of the markets. You're simply going to pick the one that makes the most type of sense. How did I overcome the low points during the trading journey? So it was actually very interesting because when I was in the journey, there wasn't a lot of successful traders and not a lot of people were actually making it in the industry. But I did use a lot of other people as point of reference, and I pretty much used that to motivate myself. And I kind of would also use my family not believing in me to pretty much help with that. But I would say I had my eyes on the bigger picture, and I wasn't gonna let anything get in the way of me because I was feeling bad or I was feeling low. So, are you really giving away a one-on-one? Yes, I'm giving away a one-on-one to the first 10 people that join the Center Figure community today. If they do not join today, they will not get access to the one-on-one calls. And yes, they will also get a challenge, correct? So everybody that joins today will get a challenge. What do you do when there's news? Nothing. I find out that there's news after they happen. I literally don't do anything beforehand. I don't do anything afterhand. I don't take trades outside of London session or New York session. I only take trades inside those sessions. I just personally don't like gold because it simply is not as ideal of a risk type, in my opinion. I just don't like it. I had a really bad experience at the beginning of my journey, and I simply just don't like it. My leverage can range. Well, right now on my personal account is 1 to 100. On like flipping accounts, it's 1 to 500. And what comes included with so yeah, if you join right now the Set and Forget community, you're going to get access to a one-on-one call with me. If you are the first 10 people that join, you're going to get access to a masterclass on how to flip an account, and to get access to how to actually pass a challenge. So it's 2 completely different classes. One on how to flip an account, one on how to pass a challenge. And then everybody that joins the Set and Forget community right now is going to get access to a $10,000 challenge
completely for free. So I'm going to get you guys a challenge. Once you join the community, so you're going to get access to the actual strategy, and you're going to get access to funds at the exact same time. So you don't have to go and do both things separately, making this a one-stop shop for you guys. How do I hold trades over the weekend? Simply just set and forget. It's very simple. Can I tell you what I did at Sunday Swings in the beginning? No, you got to watch the recording. How do I get more precise entries? Watch this recording. It's going to make it very simple and very straightforward and effective. They're really giving away, yes, I'm literally giving away $30,000, guys. Can you guys understand? All I have to do is go subscribe to the next one. Are you trading only those pairs? Yes, I am. Only the ones that I have just broken down inside of this Sunday Swings. Why not trade US 30? Honestly, US 30, I could, but I just don't like the idea of pretty much trading the economy. I just like when it comes to the economy of like the US, I just feel like it's very manipulated by the news, and I don't want to be involved in that. I'd rather just be part of two currencies. For me, it's a lot easier. Also, funny enough, at the beginning, I couldn't trade US 30 because my account didn't have enough leverage to place the minimum lot size on US 30. So I kind of threw it out the window at the beginning. And it's almost like a superstitious kind of thing that I do, not trading US 30. So I enter the time frame. I can enter a trade anywhere from a 4-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour, anywhere from there. My biggest mistakes when I started trading would probably be FOMO. So I thought the market was going to run away. I thought that the trades that I was taking were not going to happen again. And I thought that the patterns weren't going to repeat themselves. So FOMO was very big at the beginning of my trading journey, and they affected me devastatingly. And the second thing would be risk management. I'll never forget, I paid this one guy, this one Asian guy, paid him $500 for a one-on-one. And I already knew trading at this point. I was probably trading for about 2 years. And I literally paid him $500 for a one-on-one. I showed him everything that I knew. And he was like, all right, let me review this for 2-3 days, and then I'll let you know what you're doing wrong on why you're not successful. Like, all right, fine. Did a one-on-one with him, showed him everything, sent the recordings. Blah. 2-3 days later, he reaches out. He's like, I know what's wrong with it. I know why you're not successful. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to get this wisdom on what I'm not doing, what I haven't learned, what's the secret. He literally goes, you're not using risk management, are you? Like, what? Like, yeah, you're not using risk management on your account, are you? I'm like, no, I don't need risk management. I just need to know how to trade. It's like, no, if you don't have risk management, you do not trade. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if your risk management is trash, you simply are wasting your time. And at that point, I was pissed off at the guy, but I got scammed for $500. But that's where I realized that you couldn't learn more about trading, or at least how much I knew, and I knew everything that I had to know about trading to become successful, but I didn't know the risk management. So the second biggest problem was that I wasn't correctly applying the risk management. As soon as I learned that and I got it and I flipped it, everything changed. So if you guys want to join the Set and Forget community, the link is literally here in the chat. If you do not join through this link, you can simply not join at all, and you will not get access to the free $10,000 challenge, access to the how to pass a challenge account, how to flip an account, and a one-on-one call with me if you are one of the first 10 people to join. What's a good risk management percentage? Depends. Everybody's risk tolerance is different. I'll tell you right now, my risk tolerance is definitely different from a lot of these traders out there. I have a very high risk tolerance. I'm very confident in my strategy. Why Forex and not stocks? Because Forex is open 24/5, stocks is 9 to 5, and the entry barrier for Forex is a lot less than stocks. Reading these questions. Yeah. How does one actually lock in? I don't know how to answer that. If you're not ready to lock in, you can just get off the street. Honestly, like you just lock in, you just get ready to do whatever you got to do. I feel like people that need constant motivation like that are just looking for a way out. You don't need constant motivation to simply stay locked in. Just do what you got to do. You know what you got to do. What time frame should we look for the engulfing? You should look for the engulfing on the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour, whichever one looks the cleanest. Somebody say English or Spanish. I don't know what that means. What are my thoughts on the? I think Bitcoin is bullish overall long term. Would you mention somebody that trades futures? I'm not educated on futures, so I don't want to educate on something that I don't know. I'm 14. What do I do? Bro, if you're 14 and you're on this stream right now, you are so ahead of the game. When I was 14 years old, I was at the park skateboarding or playing basketball. Dude, you're on a stream right now, learning how to trade and you're 14 years old. Bro, you are ahead of the fucking game. You can be the president of the United States of America if you're in America. I don't even know where you are. You're young, man. You got plenty of time. Like, you are ahead of the ball. Yes, I'm going to be traveling to other countries very, very soon. For now, I just want to take a little bit of a break. Traveling is very challenging. Stop loss placement always has to be above or under the area of interest. Above if you're selling, under if you are buying. 10% risk management is not good at all. How bad was I down when I got started? I was down about like $20,000, $30,000 when I got started. I'll never forget that. That really did suck. Will AI take over trading? So I personally think that AI could enhance trading. I do believe that you could potentially soon add it if it's really, really good. I don't believe that it could be fully automated. I don't think AI, like even if it's fully automated, it constantly has to get updates and stuff, so it's never really automated. But I don't think AI can ever be as good as a human. Human can make more of a logical decision than a bot. A bot will only make a decision on what you code it to do. A human, and like that coding can be unrelevant very, very fast and just simply not be as effective compared to a human. A human can make, in my opinion, more of a logical decision based off of like what's currently happening. If the person has no emotions, that's going to be the crucial thing about like if I were to have to pick a shitty trader or a bot, you know, it's very hard. I personally hate bots myself. I've never found one that works. And everybody that sold the bot, none of them work. None of them work. 100 to the mil. I've been seeing this getting asked a lot. What is my PR? I just don't like trading gold. How do I deal with spread? Spread is absolutely inevitable. You can literally not change that. So it sucks sometimes that, you know, spread will make your trade either hit your stop loss when it shouldn't have, or your entry is way further than it should have actually been. It is what it is. It's part of the process. There's nothing that you can do. I simply try and stick to taking trades within the beginning of New York session or the beginning of London sessions. That's when the spread tends to be the lowest because there's a lot of money that's about to be moved. So the spread goes down very, very fast. Did I read any trading books? Yes. Trading in the Zone is the book that made me successful. I wish I could meet Mark Douglas, shake his hand, be like, thank you, brother. Thank you for what you taught me in that book because you put into perception a lot of things that I was questioning myself, and he pretty much confirmed everything to me. Trading in the Zone got me to the point where I am today. Will the market ever be closed? I don't think the foreign exchange market can ever close because if the foreign exchange market closes, that means that all the currencies in the world close. Is there still spots for the one-on-one call?
I think there's like 2 spots left for the one-on-one cause. Whoever wants to join the Set and Forget community right now. Taxes and trading. It's very hard for me to talk about this topic because I have following from so many different parts of the world that taxes apply very differently in every different country. You just have to do your own due diligence in your country. How much percent do I expect? Great question. How much percent of profit do I expect in a month? I expect anywhere from 7 to like 12% on a good month. Sometimes 15. That's how much percent I would expect on a month. Based on the area of interest, using the 3 touches, same one. Yes, correct. What happened to the 11-11 challenge? I just got bored of it. Honestly, it wasn't as exciting as the 100 to the mil. The 100 to the mil was a lot more exciting than the 11-11 challenge. And actually, honestly, I just honestly blew it. So, yeah, when I blew the challenge, I was like, all right, that's it. All right, guys. So with that being said, appreciate you guys watching the stream all the way to the end. This has been legendary, absolutely legendary. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the other channel so you guys can win the $30,000 if we hit 30,000 subscribers in under 3 days. And if you guys want to join the Set and Forget community, the link is above. First 10 people will get a one-on-one call. Everybody else is going to get access to the way on how to pass challenge, a masterclass on how to flip an account, and every single person that joins is going to get a 10K account. So appreciate you guys on watching this class all the way to the end. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy, guys. Set and Forget, boys.